I am feeling very motivated to join the industry that uses. You get the idea. Simply because I watched The Old Guard. Oh my god. Anyway, if you want to find out why, just stay to the end of this video and I will tell you the gist. Let me tell you something. What a man can do, a woman can do, even maybe slightly better. You know why I say this? Because the story around The Old Guard, which is the movie I'm reviewing today, is centered around the main character and a couple of other characters as well. But then she's the main character, you know what I mean? Her name is Andy, actually Andromachian the Cynthia. This role is actually played by Charlize Theron, and the way she embodied that character, it's making me want to really think of maybe I should join characters, or I don't know, some of these things that have to do with, you know what I mean.
Who are you? You can call me Andy.
At the beginning of the movie, it shows Andy, who is going to meet the rest of her crew, and they had this job they needed to go for. Actually, they're like, I don't know if I call them assassins, but no, they're not actually assassins. They're just people that get paid to kill other people, you know. But then the thing is that they kill for good. Like, they kill because they want to do good.
So you good guys or bad guys?
Depends on the century.
But they met Copley, who is the guy that allegedly had the job for them in South Sudan. The mission was actually to go rescue a couple of kids that were kidnapped. And you know, from the goodness of her heart, she decides to go on the mission, not knowing it was actually a setup.
Mother?
You needed to see my face when they get into the place and then they are shot dead. I'm like, wait, what's happening right now? Isn't the actor supposed to live to the end of the movie? When the actor have already died from the beginning, what are we now watching? But apparently, these guys are immortal. Okay, maybe slightly immortal, but then you get the gist.
I lead a group of soldiers. Fighters, like you. With an extremely rare skill set.
But then, even before she met the rest of the gang, there have been some people that she has been with in between that had the same condition, like the immortality thing. The first was Queen, who she fought side by side with. Like, the people in the century then believed that they were witches and wanted to kill them, but you know, after several attempts to kill them, imagine wanting to kill a cockroach and the cockroach refuses to die. My god, I'm not saying they are cockroaches, but you know that feeling like this person does not want to die, this person does not want to die. That was how the people in that century felt. They saw them as, you know, these plagues. But the thing is, these women, they had good mission. Their mission was like to, you know, help make the world a better place by killing people that weren't supposed to be alive. Anyway, since killing them proved abortive, the people in the century felt like the best thing to do was just to separate them. And the worst way to separate them was they put Queen in an old metal coffin and buried her in a sea. You can imagine that the lady has just been there dying over and over and over and over and over and over again for 500 years, guys. 500 years. Andy on her own part has kept looking for her, like looked for her all over, combed the oceans, tried to track her down, but everything proved abortive. She finally decided to give up. And then with time, she met the rest of the crew, Booker and the rest of them. Okay, so back to the immortality part. This is just the story behind it. Like, they've lived for centuries, and we are now in this present 2020 with them telling us their story. So after they've been shot dead, next thing, they're up again, and then they now do the thing that I thought people used to do, which everybody now dies. Of course they knew that this was a setup, and they knew that Copley was actually behind it, but then they didn't know why he was behind it. So the next part of the movie was the mission to find Copley. Copley was hired by Merrick's to find them because they actually wanted to do like some scientific experimentation on them on how to cure diseases and make humans immortal. Copley had a good intention. His wife died of a sickness, and he was thinking that getting these people in and Merrick's conducting this scientific experiment on them would maybe find a cure to sicknesses, and there will be no more diseases and deaths and all of that. But Merrick's had a totally different intention. He just wanted to win the Nobel Prize and make some money. Copley, on the other hand, had done like a background research on Andy and the crew for a very long time. So he knew what he was doing, he knew what he was getting into, and he knew the kind of people he was dealing with. He knew that they were extraordinary humans. But he still couldn't get to this mission. The scene turns up to somewhere in Afghanistan. We find this female soldier, another beautiful lady in the building. This female soldier that is apparently very kind, because you see her giving sweets to children, and she's trying to find a terrorist that is in the neighborhood. She meets a group of women, try to convince them that, hey, we're trying to find the guy because he did a lot of bad things. They direct her to the guy. In the bit of trying to capture the guy and all, the guy slashes her throat. Actually, after this happens, she wakes up in a hospital with no scar, like everything has been cleared. But then she had a dream about the others, like the rest of the group. The thing is, whenever an immortal is discovered, they have dreams about each other, and the dreams only stop when they meet. So Auntie and her team that is on the way to find Copley decides to part ways. The rest of the group goes to find Copley, while Andy decides to go find the soldier that miraculously got healed, whose name is Nell, by the way. Okay, she finds Nell, kidnaps her. Nell proves stubborn, tries to run away. She shoots Nell. Nell recovers. Nell stabs her. She recovers. The story around it is that she's just trying to convince Nell to join her, because of course she has a lot of questions, because man, she died all of a sudden. She resurrects, and how the other soldiers were already looking at her like, what's up? Then they decide to take a plane to France, but on the way to France, they had this exchange of blows with bones breaking and all of that in the plane.
I have the new one.
And?
I think she has potential. See, you're already healing faster.
Plane, just for Andy to prove a point to Niall, and also for Andy to see the fighting capabilities Niall has. Both of them are convinced. Niall is convinced that, okay, she has to join this group, at least for now, to find out, the rest of the story. And Andy is convinced that, yeah, Niall has fighting skills. She can actually help the team. They finally get to a place in France. Sorry, I forgot to mention, the location of this story is in different places: South Sudan, France, London, all over. So Niall meets the rest of the crew in France, and they're having this round table talk. The rest of the crew tells Niall their story, how long they've been fighting from 1812, some from like centuries, where I've been part of the Crusaders, where I've been like, oh my god, very, very long time ago. But then in this roundtable conference, the gist is spilled on that even though they are seen as immortals, they actually die. Just that they don't know when they will die. Niall and Andy step outside to, talk for a bit. Anyway, some guys barge into the house, apparently kill Booker, and then kidnap Joe and Nikki. And then the three of them are set out to find Joe and Nikki, because apparently Andy can't stand the thought of losing any other person again. I mean, she has lost Queen, and she lost one other guy. His name wasn't really mentioned, or maybe I didn't pick his name again. Now the mission has changed to looking for Copley, and also finding Joe and Nikki and rescuing them. Then a plot twist. There's always that plot twist. Booker finally finds an address to a place in London, and just before they walk into the building, Niall is like, okay, no, I have my family, I need to go back to my family, they don't even know what happened to me, blah blah blah. And he's like, okay, fine. Gives her the gun that Booker gave to her, and then goes into the building. Now takes the car and leaves. But then before she's about to ditch the car and the gun, she finds out that the gun had no bullets. Now she knows that something is wrong somewhere. There's actually a setup, and Booker probably set Andy up. So now she returns. Back in the London scene, Booker shoots Andy, thinking that she's going to, heal as normal. But then Andy has lost her healing ability. She's no longer immortal. Mary's come and takes Andy and Booker away to lock them up where Joe and Nikki has been locked up for a while. Comes back, and with the help of Copley, they decide to rescue the rest of the group. The group gets rescued, but because of Booker's betrayal, his punishment is that he's going to be alone for about 100 years. And after 100 years, the rest of the group would, he would reunite with the rest of the group. Andy and the rest of the team, they go to see Copley, and then she finds out that Copley has actually made a lot of research on them, and she has seen the impacts that she has done. She has also known Wilder was part of the group after a long time, which was apparently to remind her that, a lot of good can still be done with humanity, and what she's doing is not unrecognized. And she doesn't have to give up on humanity yet. So, new mission. Copley would now protect the group by erasing their footprints on anything social media.
It's nearly impossible to disappear in the world we live in today.
And also help them find jobs that are worth their while. 6 months later, the scene opens up with Booker, who just came back from drinking, and just stepping into his apartment, he sees a lady. Guess who? Queen, guys. Queen. You remember the lady that was locked in the iron casket and was buried on sea? Apparently she escaped, and now she's back. And that's why I think this movie would have a part 2, because we need to know what's up with Queen coming back. What's she going to do? I think Queen and Andy would have a falling out, because Andy is angry that Queen gave up the search on her, and But anyway, let's just look out for the part 2. This movie has taught me 2 important things. Everything that has life one day would die. It doesn't matter how long you take to delay it. It doesn't matter what you do to, keep giving it life. Once it is time, it's time. And it will die. The person, whoever it is, will die. The second thing, again, this movie has taught me is that sometimes being alone is a punishment. Remember, Booker's punishment was that he was going to be alone for about 100 years, and he was running mad after 6 months because you see him drinking. It has taught me that sometimes being alone is a punishment. Nobody is meant to be alone. You need people of your kind around you. I really, really love that they used a female character to portray the strength. And you see the aura around her, the aura around the character played by Andy, and you find that she's a strong woman. She doesn't even talk too much, like straight to the point. Even the haircut she has, everything is just, men looking at her, you just see boss. You don't need anybody to tell you. She's just a boss lady personified. And the way she leads the team, even with her intuition, with man, great movie. Like, I really, really enjoyed watching the movie. So I would recommend you can go see it yourself. It's called The Old Guard. And yeah, this is the end of my movie review. I hope you liked it. If you're new to my channel, welcome, welcome, welcome. My name is Adaz. Normally I'm supposed to do this at the beginning, but I just wanted to give you the gist so I don't waste your time. But yes, my name is Adaz, and this is Adaz Place. Here I talk about a lot of things, tip, reminders, fun stuff. Today we are doing the fun stuff, which is the movie review. And of course, if you're an old subscriber, I love you so much. Like, my love for you is increasing every single day. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and please leave me comments in the comment section. You can also leave me movies you would want me to see and give a review on, and tell me what you think of this movie. If you've watched it before as well, let me know what you think in this movie. How did you like it? Did you like it? What am I missing in it? Although I can't talk about a movie of 2 hours in just how many minutes. I just had to go straight to the point, like the things that stuck with me. Please don't forget to subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. And I'll see you in my next video. Thank you. Signing out.